was that spliff that I just smoked.
That was a flow. Good flow.
You know, I got much more eloquent after having a few tokes. I was only going to have a few tokes after the Fields of Green update. And then I had a few tokes, and you know what? It works, the stuff. The stuff is lit.
It's amazing.
Lit. So,
It's
Joe,
lit.
tell us, what have
So
we got
today
tonight?
we've got some grow bags that have been sent to us by Seeds of Hope, down in the garden route sort of side. I've made a nice little video explaining how they work and why you would sort of
I think
pros
it'd be
and
quite a
cons.
nice shopping bag. Eh?
Very much so.
Durable.
I think so.
Durable.
You could just grow in your shopping bags.
As
Yeah.
A bags.
Yeah.
These are just A bags.
Nice.
But yeah, very nice material.
Very, very nice. It's a compressed felt.
Oh, and
it's
look
sewn on so
Look
beautifully.
at the handles.
Exactly.
It's got this lovely dacha leaf print on the handle. Isn't that a nice
And
touch?
there's white ones, and then there's...
She does a wall hanging. We'll get into. So I made a whole video showing like what they're for, why you would want one, pros and cons.
I like the wall hanging.
Let's check that video.
Let's watch the video. Tonight on Shit or Lit, we have grow bags. More specifically, these are Seeds of Hope grow bags. Now, grow bags aren't a new thing. We've all seen them around. They certainly aren't a new idea. In ancient times, the Egyptians would weave plant baskets out of whatever they were weaving plant baskets out of, and the Greeks would use woven containers for the rooftop gardens because they could easily be moved. I mean, this is pretty appropriate for modern times. There's a lot of people living in townhouses and complexes and small spaces where they can't have gardens to grow their own stuff. So patios, balconies, grow bags are absolutely amazing. I wasn't quite sure how to do a shit or lit on grow bags. So what I've decided to do is to tell you about the advantages and maybe some disadvantages of using fabric grow bags. And then I'll show you what we have with these grow bags. And then I will let you guys make up your own minds. The first pro to using a fabric bag is the air pruning. So what is air pruning? Let's talk about air pruning for a second. When a plant is grown in a container, it sends out roots that tend to grow towards the edge of a pot. Now in a plastic container, those roots will begin to circle when they reach the edge. And they go round and round and round the perimeter of the pot looking for air. And eventually this process creates a huge unhealthy root mass that chokes the plant. Now left unchecked, this root circling will eventually kill the potted plant. Grow bags eliminate the root circling altogether because the fabric materials allows air to flow in and out of the pot. When roots reach the edge, they're exposed to air and become dehydrated. The dehydrated root tips stop growing and sends out an army of lateral roots. These lateral roots branch out to form a dense network that extracts moisture and nutrients. The next pro with your grow bags is that you can say goodbye to overwatering. Now, hands down, overwatering can be the #1 killer of potted plants. The plastic and the clay pots are especially prone to overwatering because they allow the moisture to pool at the bottom of the container. Even the pots with the drain holes are vulnerable to moisture buildup, and this can result in root rot, fungus gnats, and a host of nasty pests. Fabric pots are virtually impossible to overwater. Thanks to the permeable structure of the fabric, water can flow down and through the bottom of the pot, draining evenly and preventing pools of standing water from forming. The fabric also wicks moisture from the sides of the pot, so it keeps the soil perfectly moist but never wet. The elimination of overwatering is a major reason why fabric pots are superior, at least, to clay and plastic containers. The next pro I'm going to talk about is breathability. So, leaves produce oxygen through photosynthesis, this we all know. Roots don't have that luxury. Like us humans, they have to absorb oxygen from the surrounding environment. In clay and plastic pots, root oxygenation occurs only at the surface. In a fabric container, the oxygen flows all the way through the pot, makes direct contact with the root zone, and this allows oxygenation to occur throughout the entire root mass. The result is a robust, healthy, expansive root system that supports a bigger plant with bigger yields. Next up we have much less heat stress. In clay and plastic pots, roots are vulnerable to heat buildup and are contained months. When the unforgiving sun beats down on your garden, plants are exposed to chronic or acute heat stress and may never recover, and even if they do, their crop yields will be diminished. Thanks to airflow and moisture wicking, fabric grow bags are resistant to heat buildup. The cooling effect of the airflow is self-explanatory. In the same way that sweating regulates human body temperature, moisture wicking carries harmful heat away from the root zone. This is because evaporation is a cooling process. When water evaporates from the surface of the fabric, it carries heat away with it, keeping the roots nice and cool. And of course, nothing in life is perfect, so we are going to look at the cons of using fabric grow bags. There's not a lot that I could find. I think it's fairly obvious that the first con would be durability. These bags are not going to last an entire lifetime. I've heard general consensus is that they're going to last 2 to 3 growing seasons. People have suggested that they could last as long as 4 to 6 seasons. Of course, this is going to depend on your environment, conditions the bags are stored in, and what it's made out of. The next con, it's kind of a con, but not also really. It would be aesthetics. Grow bags traditionally aren't as pretty or chic as ceramic or terracotta pots. They're typically a solid colour, they're black or grey, they don't really come with patterns or designer motifs or anything like that, whilst hard body pots in contrast have a lot more flair. They're more shapely, funnel, cone shaped, they've got character, glazes, paints, whatever, textural interest on the surface. These particular grow bags, however, I'm loving the use of the shwe lining, edging and handles. I'm loving the use of hemp for the edging and the handles, and also the cannabis print material. But not all grow bags are ugly. Okay, so let's take a look at these Seeds of Hope grow bags. So what we've got here, these are a really nice compact felt bag. They come in a variety of sizes. This handle is made out of hemp. The inside of these bags are square. I love a square bag because my uncle taught me that round makes root lock and square doesn't, especially when you're digging a hole in the ground. These are the cannabis handles, nice and strongly sewn on, really no danger of tearing off at any time soon. They do have a range of bags that have the Velcro. If you have a look on the website, there are options of bags available with the Velcro side available. Makes it much easier to repot things. If you're growing a small little bag of potatoes or something like that as well, I suppose. Everything folds away quite nicely so that it's all compactly stored. She does really sweet gift sets and things like that. I mean, look at this beautiful little thing. You can hold a little pretty flower pot plant on your desk in your kitchen for herbs. It's pretty. It certainly steps aside from the con of aesthetic we spoke about earlier. This range has the hemp lining. This is so exciting. This is a wall hanging. So this you are going to be putting, again, I think herbs in the garden, on the patio, little pretty flowers, just something nice and small, something easily accessible. It's lined with the shwe, and I think that would make a really pretty addition to any kitchen or patio. Let's have a look at this handle on this big bag. You can see it is quite well sewn on. They've not messed around with the stitching there. They're not wanting it to fall apart. They've realized that it's going to be carrying heavy soil plants. It's not made for light work. So I would say that the quality looks really good. We're going to need to test this over some time. But in the meantime, she has donated all of these to us at Fields of Green for All, and these will be added to our goodie bags for prizes. Yay! Thank you so much, Seeds of Hope. Thank you so much,
Yay.
Seeds of Hope. All
Seeds
of
of
these
Hope,
bags,
Seeds of
guys, are
Hope.
going to go into the pot with all the prizes and
We've
everything.
got so many of them. They're like just
It's so
tons and tons and
exciting.
tons, and they just keep coming out of this
Like,
bag.
she sent me a personal gift, and I'm even
See,
going to
they just
throw
keep coming out
that
of
in
this
the
bag.
mix because it's so awesome. So the price is really, really reasonably priced, competitive, absolutely competitive. If you spend more than $700 online, you will get your delivery free across the country, anywhere. I think that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I think that's very cool.
What do you guys think of the things?
I have grown with fabric bags. I've tried every single kind of iteration that's ever come out of fabric bags.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are very rugged, but the thing with fabric bags is they get a lot of algae. So that's the one downside with fabric bags. No matter
Okay.
what, they become green with algae, but they do make the plants grow really, really, really bushy because the roots can like
So can you
probably
reuse it though? Can you wash that out?
100%. Well, you can take you just take it. If you take these after you've grown something and you want to give it a revamp, you can just take it and let it dry out in the sun, like really dry it out, and then give it a good spray down, a good wash, and then just go for it. Even with algae or the stains or the whatever it
especially the
is,
stains.
you get
No,
a
it's
lot
not
of.
going to look pristine like
No,
that for
don't
very
expect
long.
it to look like this. It's not going to be
It's
nice.
not a decor
A
item.
plastic pot will always
Yeah.
have a much better look compared to one of these in
Yes.
terms of as it's growing.
Outward look. Yeah.
The salt, the build-up, you'll notice heavily on these bags. You'll see salt
Okay.
build-ups immediately.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's one
is
thing
that
that you show.
Is that something that you don't want for
You
your
don't
plants?
really want it also sometimes on the bottom of the plant because obviously if there's too much salt on the roots and it gets a little bit
Yeah.
moist and the roots are touching that salt, a high concentration of EC, which is basically it'll burn them. So it's not good to have that. But if you manage it right, they're amazing. I
But
saw.
wouldn't the salt pool in any kind of pot?
Well, no, the plastic it just depends. This one
The
absorbs
plastic-
it.
With the plastic, it won't
Absorb.
be,
It'll run down with
yeah,
the
nothing
moisture.
sticks.
crystallize in the bag fabric.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have
With the
Okay.
plastic, it washes out.
Yeah, it washes
Okay.
down. Yeah, as soon as this
Okay.
gets wet and then it dries off, even if you take salty water, like literally table salt
It's
water,
like growing
put
the
it here,
THC crystals
exactly,
on the
it
string.
will
Okay.
it will just make more salt on the surface. But if you manage it right, there's no problem. It will be fine.
And then can you put that pot, do you put it flat on the ground or do you have
That's
to have
good
it
you said that.
up on a pallet or
There's
something like
a
that?
local South African supplier. I saw them. They have just brought this, or they've got this product where you can actually put these on a small stand
Oh yes.
where it
And
keeps
it
it off the floor.
airproofs.
And what
Yeah.
it allows then is there's air
Yeah, I was
passes
wondering.
underneath it, and it also allows the drainage to happen to the outside edges.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, you don't get fancy, put it on a pallet.
or yeah, pallets or rot or on a few bricks.
Or bricks, whatever. Just lift it
Yeah.
off the floor. You got to
3
obviously
bricks or
try and get it
something
off the floor a little
I've
bit.
run them in saucers. And
Yeah.
they
Get
find-
some sort of plastic
Yeah.
grid, put them on top of a plastic grid or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
They have
these are
a,
good.
they
So
have a few
Where's the small
shiplet,
ones?
shiplet.
They have a few competitors in the market.
Yeah, that's another thing.
No, they
But
do.
these ones are
That
good.
on
I
the
like.
table.
I also like that they're square.
Do the competitive
And the
competitors
Velcro.
have as wide a range?
Yes.
Like from that tiny little, is it?
Yeah,
these
so they've
guys
got
make
from the
even
smallest to the
bonsais,
biggest, yeah.
everything. There's all kinds of shapes, squares. There's fucking
They're
big
now
ones,
making-
small ones, custom
Yeah.
size. You know.
So now
Oh,
they
nice.
it's they're now making they make them in big beds also. So if you want to get a massive bed, you can make it.
She
But
does them custom size.
Yeah.
You let her know what size
Those
your tent
guys
is
do.
and she'll
I
make
think
it to
that
fit.
They're
what's-
really good
What
pots.
sets this product apart is that there's a very definite community involvement.
That's what I
with
was
the
going to say
people that
about where
are-
they come
that
from.
are making these
Yes.
bags. Joe, tell us about that.
So, I mean, there are a few families who are surviving off of making these bags. There's a single mom running the company, and she's got local ladies helping with the sewing, and that's at least like 3 families.
I think the location of
You
where
know,
these
that
bags
are-
are being produced have their own selling power because they like you say, they are servicing a local market and people should support them because essentially these are
Yes, exactly.
just down the road.
And
And
where
It's
are
like an
they?
economy.
Where are they
Where they're based?
based?
Down the Cape side, I want to say Garden Route, maybe George. There's a G word.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
cool.
I hope they're in all the grow shops down there. So if
Yes.
you live down in that part of the country, and just a shout out to everybody who's watching tonight. Now, while we had the cutaway, we were looking through the feeds, and it's great to see Amy's watching from Mexico, and it's good to see Chris Cada. I believe you haven't been well. Glad that you're watching with us again, and lots of the old names, Russ Yellow and Ricky Stone, our darling Ricky, Captain Green, Brother Green, sorry. Yeah, thanks for the support. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. But I think share is it should be the
And
most
comment.
important one for tonight.
Comment. Tell us
Share
Yeah,
this show with your friends and say to them, hey, tune in for an hour on Thursday night and you might actually learn something. We're trying to create that balance, as always, of getting really stoned and just talking shit,
Talking about
or
getting stoned.
educating people, or sharing the news with what that we've seen come across our feeds during the week. So, as always, if there's anything that you'd like to see featured on the show, Nigel Connell, thank you so much for your lovely long
Nige,
list.
we're going to get you on the show one day, my brother. Actually,
Yeah.
remind me to hit you up. And also, folks, while we're somewhere around the shit or lit vibes, if you have a product that you would like us to do a review on, please contact us. We do have a contact us form on our website. Otherwise, slide into our DMs on any of the social medias or joe@fieldsofgreen.org.za.
And
Please let
if
them
you
know.
are if you're running a cannabis business, please consider becoming an affiliate company with Fields of Green for All. We wouldn't be able to do this, you know. We're very far away from monetizing the Hotbox, unfortunately. So all of this does cost us money to run, but we figure it's worth it, you know.
Yeah.
We come back here week after week and decide whether it's shit or lit. So we haven't decided whether it's shit or lit yet.
I think it's lit.
I think it's lit.
I think it's lit.
They're lit.
Community
They are,
They are,
involvement.
no matter what they are.
Get the
Really
Velcro
nice.
one.
Yeah, the employment opportunities for women, I think, is something that's always very, very close to my heart. So now, you can get involved in our Instagram competition.
We work great with our buds.
Yeah. And
Very
you know, we really like to engage with our community as much as we possibly can.